Hello, I'm Scott Patrick in the Dish Studio. If you look at all those lists of the most anticipated shows of the fall, well, many of them feature NBC's New Amsterdam, the story of a brash young doctor trying to fix a New York hospital. It combines medical drama with very human stories in the tradition of Grey's Anatomy and House. In fact, executive producer Peter Horton also produced Grey's, but you still might know him best for his acting role on 30-something. And speaking of actors, this series has a huge cast of young talents, led by Ryan Edgold. Many know him from his role on NBC's The Blacklist. Our Dish cameras caught up with the team behind New Amsterdam at SeriesFest, a sort of film festival for TV series in Denver, Colorado. New Amsterdam is new Tuesday nights on NBC beginning September 25th.
This hospital is a city unto itself. We performed the world's first C-section in the world's first maternity ward.
I know the history.
The dean makes me tell it to every new medical director.
And how many of those have you worked with?
5 in 5 years.
Will everyone in the cardiac surgical department please raise your hands? Great. Great, thank you. You're all fired. Any department who places billing above care, you will be terminated. So, how can I help? That speech was so incredibly well written by David, and I was so excited to get into it. And really kind of, there's a lot of the theme of the whole show, I think, in that speech and in that moment. And, you know, Eric really said and did these things. He came in and he fired the cardiac department almost on day one and just said, let's start from the very beginning. And, you know, there's a real boldness to that. I mean, that scene for me was like, that was really, you know, quintessential to starting this experience, to getting that right. We all feel like the system is too big to change.
We'll call you when we have a doctor available, okay, hon?
I think we shot it pretty early on in the schedule as well, and it was quite exciting, I think, for me to be in the audience watching Ryan. And, you know, he came and just, like, killed it first take. And then it was take after take. And that was quite exciting because, obviously, he's the lead of the show. And I was like, oh, I feel like this is going to be great because I can see what he's doing and he's super prepared. And
these poor guys, I felt like take 12 or something. Sorry. One more time.
But he kept it super fresh. When I watched it, what I was doing was making a lot of stupid faces was what I thought. I was like, oh, God, Janet.
Yeah, but she can't help it.
I can't help it.
We are the system, and we need to change. Let's be doctors again.
I found this book called 12 Patients, and it was written by the former medical director of Bellevue Hospital, Eric Mannheimer. And it wasn't about interns having sex with each other in closets. It was about, no offense to those kind of shows.
I'm with you. We've moved on.
It was about the system. It was about how patients got to where they are and how doctors couldn't help them because of the bureaucracy in the way. And I just thought, this is great because you get everything that's great about medical shows. You get high stakes, you get to care about the patients, but the biggest obstacle for the doctors is the system, and you get to talk about that too. So I got really excited about this book, and so I called Peter, who we've been looking to work together for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And I said, Peter, I'm so excited. I think I found the project. How excited are you to do another medical show?
And I said, I really don't want to do another show about interns having sex in the closet. And then he showed me the book and he showed me the project, and we kind of realized what he's saying. This is about anything but. It's not even about the mechanics of medicine. It's about the system. It's about how broken it is and how inhuman it is, and how hard it is to feel human in it. And you know, once we started to talk about that, we started to get into that discussion, it suddenly became relevant, fresh, different, and really about something that's at the heart of the best drama, which is, what does it mean to be human?
Well, you've got the entire United Nations in the ICU and a cardiac patient being prepped for surgery.
Right. Wait, why is a cardiac surgery on my hot list?
Because you fired all the cardiac surgeons.
Right, but I had all the new patients rerouted to university.
Not the ones from Rikers. Maybe you shouldn't have fired the entire department.
They were all corrupt and lazy.
See?
Except for Dr. Reynolds.
How do you know that?
Just read his file.
Oh. There's a real urgency and immediacy to Eric Mannheimer, who wrote this book that the show is based off of, and I think David translated that to our show magnificently, and there's never a dull moment, and there's always something human and something life or death at stake, which keeps the show just moving along.
I think that's sort of the pace of a hospital, you know, everything is quite fast-paced, and the music was what I loved when I watched the pilot, because I felt like that really played into that and really kept everything like ticking over, so yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple of ugly cries throughout the process of watching the pilot myself, which is surprising because, you know, I've read it, I was in it, and I thought I knew what to expect, but I still was somehow surprised and taken aback by how beautifully the story was told, so it's just great.
Floyd Reynolds? Max Goodwin.
Yeah, I remember you from an hour ago. When you fired me.
Yale. Fancy. Which secret society were you? Skull and Bones, Scroll and Key?
The one that took a poor black kid.
And which one was that?
School of Medicine. I would say that my face says it all. In all of the trailers that you've seen, Dr. Reynolds is really taken aback by the fact that Max Goodwin comes in and says, everybody from the cardiac surgical department, raise your hand, and he just cleans house and says, oh no, I'm serious, you're fired. So, you know, I'm shocked. You know, I just get on out of there and I go and to proceed to pack until he comes in and stops me.
I read your files. You had the lowest billing rates in the department. What's wrong? You don't like surgery?
I love surgery.
Then why did you perform half as many procedures as your colleagues?
Because my patients didn't need them. Because there's other ways to help people than by cutting them open.
And that's one of my favorite scenes, the one that we got to do in your office. That was a good time, yeah.
I think Lauren is sort of skeptical, and she's sort of like, okay, she's seen new MDs, you know, over the years, so she thinks, oh, cute, you're really cute, what you're trying to do, but like, come on. And then she's a bit like, this guy, what is he doing? But then by the end of it, she's like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. Not that I particularly think you're gonna be able to change the system, but I guess we're gonna see what happens with this guy. How long's this guy gonna last?
I think that you should have fought for me a little bit more, because you got over that real fast.
For him.
Do you know what? I asked you out and you didn't say yes. So
I guess I got what I deserved.
Spoiler alert.
That's
Another spoiler alert. I'm unfiring you.
To do what?
To run the cardiac surgical department.
There is no cardiac surgical department.
Then build one. A good one. I mean, it's only people's hearts we're talking about.
We're lucky that the producers and the writers are all kind of on the same pages. It's like, we're going to make a show we're proud of, and if people are excited to see it, then great, but we can't let that play into what we're doing.
Cool. It's exciting. It is. It's very exciting to have people excited to see it.
I was talking with our producer, Peter Horton, earlier today, and he's been around for a little while, and he said that he hadn't been a part of a project that had so much hype going into it. Most things that he had been a part of were like, there's no way this is gonna make it. You know, we've all had that experience, right? And of course, he's been on some hit shows, of course, but it's just one of those things where it's just so much stuff built around it, but you gotta just kind of like, just not listen to it, you know?
And by the same token, yeah, you don't want to, I don't know, you don't want to sort of raise the ante so high that you can't just watch it, you know what I mean?
At New Amsterdam's Department of Pediatric Oncology, we strive to ensure that the children feel that they are in a relaxed, positive environment.
You know what? She is good. She is.
Playful.
How long have you noticed irritation?
Do you think she's coming back early?
No. Max?
Yeah, 4 weeks, 6, maybe 8, I don't know. You look tired. Do you need a nap?
I need you to stay still.
Good luck with that.
You know, when you meet him, he's going into Bellevue on his first day to try to knock this enormous wall down and get something done. And, you know, and it doesn't stop. You know, he walks in the door and it's just one thing after another, and it's meeting new people and trying to figure these people out and make that relationship work and get these people to be doctors again and to be working again and to care and to try and to be doing our job better. And the different patients that come in and things, and it's overwhelming. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, he has his own illness to deal with, which will, you know, complicate certainly the rest of the season. And so it's overwhelming, certainly, yeah.
You need to slow down. You have cancer. But you knew that, didn't you? How can I help?
It's not a boring show. I can promise you that. There's a lot going on. Yeah, but it's cool, you know. I mean, that's what's so amazing about Eric and about this character is that in that fire, you got to somehow find some grace and find a way to keep moving through, you know.
Helmet now!
Here for you.
Forget it. I'm going in.
Dr. Bloom, wait! Here for you.
I don't know if you can ever tell. I've been surprised. I think we've all had experiences where we're on a show where we think it's a hit, and then it goes away and it's very much not, and vice versa. I think what's most important is that it starts with a great script at the end of the day, and then you have to have a great cast, you have to get along and have fun while you're doing it. And that way there's limited distractions for anything else, and I think those shows have the best chance of becoming a success.
Blue, get out of there now!
There's too much blood. I'm gonna do a needle crike to secure the airway.
The script is the foundation, and if that's not there, then you're really clutching at straws, trying to fix things as you go along. So having a good script is the foundation that you're hoping for, but then everything else that you're laying on top, you still don't know until you watch it, especially our part. We're a small part, and then we step off, we finish shooting, and then someone else edits, they add music, and all that stuff is really important. So then you leave it in the hands of Kate Dennis, in our case.
Heart rate is dropping. He needs adrenaline.
I can't stop begging.
Adrenaline first, oxygen after. Okay, go. Okay, now push 10 mLs, open wide.
Well, that's too much.
Not for this kind of virus.
Max, we'll send his heart rate too high.
Push 10 hard and fast, right now.
It's so nice that everyone's saying how nice the script is, but
It is not. It's a good script.
it's just 52 pages of paper. I mean,
Yeah.
Peter came in and helped build that house on top of it.
Well, and the most important thing that we can do as producers is cast it well. That's 70% of our job, at least. And we really took our time with that. You know, we interviewed and auditioned so many people, and this is the group that just kept coming back to us as the right group. And once in a while, you know, when you're doing projects, because we've done this for forever, once in a while you get a show where things just are working out. There's just something going on where you're getting the right cast, the right script, the right timing, and the culture. And this feels like one of them. It just does.
Gemma, what do you want to happen?
Nobody's ever asked me that before.
I like Tyler Levine's character because he's
Dr. Frome.
Yeah, Dr. Frome. He's a funny guy in real life, and I'm sure
He's a
we're going to
jerk.
tap in. Yeah, he is also a jerk. That too. Shout out to Tyler. I think we're going to see probably a lot more of that comedic side, which is great in a show like this.
Going somewhere?
I have to tape segments with the morning show.
I actually expect you to practice medicine because it's your job.
You're funny.
I really loved what Freema did. Freema Aggerman, who plays Dr. Sharp, I thought she gave such a wonderful performance. And it's lovely to watch like a contemporary girl who's like similar my age, bring something, and get to work with her as well. Like, it was amazing to see her stuff.
People are excited, Max. For the first time in a long time, they are excited to be doctors again.
Such a safe answer, but it's the absolute truth. Like, every character is so interesting. Anupam, who they didn't mention, is absolutely fantastic and brings so much heart and humanity and humor and
humor.
quirk to his role, and is so honest in his performance. Such a terrific actor. So grateful to be working with him. But really, everybody in their own right is so compelling. Yeah, for me. Then why did you come here?
This is the only hospital in America I heard of.
I think NBC, they've been so supportive and encouraging and helpful with this show, but generally I think they do human relationships really well. I mean, which, every show has, but I think there's a sincerity and an authenticity that occurs in a lot of the relationships on NBC's shows that makes them relatable, that makes us feel like we're watching ourselves, that makes us connect. And I think they're great at that.
And you just bought yourself another 10 years with NBC, my friend.
Working here, being able to save someone else's sister or someone's daughter, it's a dream come true.
They're not going to let you come in here and just help people.
So let's help as many as we can before they figure us out.
New Amsterdam is new Tuesday nights on NBC beginning September 25th. Now, if you missed any of your favorite NBC shows, we can help you out. If you're at home and your HD DVR is connected to the internet, you can watch your favorite NBC programs on demand. Now, if you're on the go, you can watch the best of NBC with Dish Anywhere. Our thanks to the team from New Amsterdam. Don't miss this exciting new medical drama on Tuesday nights. In the Dish studio, I'm Scott Patrick.